Hey, I'm going to walk you through this foreclosure and I want your opinion. I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to share some things that I would do and most importantly, what I wouldn't do. The most important thing when you're buying a foreclosure is don't get emotionally attached to the property. It doesn't matter if you're going to live in it or you're going to flip it, you're going to rent it. At the end of the day, never get emotionally attached to the property. You have to look at the numbers, and if they don't work out, they don't work out. You have to say next and move on. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. My name is Wayne Turner. For nearly 30 years, I've bought, flipped, sold, done just about everything when it comes to real estate. I say that so you can have the comfort knowing that the information that I share with you and what you learn is from tried and true decades of boots on the ground experience. This isn't textbook stuff. Now this house is just under 1,600 square feet. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, covered back porch, got a fireplace, tall ceilings. The list price on it is $185,000. Most of these foreclosures need a little work, but I'm curious, what would you do? Most people love real estate. That's why you see all these real estate shows. And I talk a lot about land, investment, and real estate, and everything to do with real estate. But I want your opinion. You tell me. So as we walk through, and I always tell everybody, when you walk through a foreclosure, you want to always wear some clothes with you that you can get dirty, because chances are you may end up getting dirty. You always got to have flashlights with you, and you want to have bug spray. And people are like, well, Wayne, why do you have to have bug spray? Well, I'll tell you a quick story. A lot of these houses have had pets, and a lot of times the banks take them back and they're not fumigated, and they need to be fumigated. And if you get into the property before they're fumigated, then you're going to be ate up with fleas. That's happened. So you've got this open eat-in kitchen area, which is nice. And look, the floors, they're dated, but they're in great shape. You can go over top of these floors if you wanted to with like a luxury vinyl tile that looks like wood. The countertops can be completely redone. A lot of people take this cornice box, if you will, they will pull that out. Now tell me, would you leave that or would you pull that out? Personally, I would rip all these cabinets out and the fur down boxes. See that where the wallpaper is? That is literally just for look. So they would frame that. There's 2x4s and studs behind that. So they frame that and then they put these real small 32-inch cabinets. Well, personally, I'd go back in there with a 42-inch cabinet and take the cornice box completely off. So if you're ever buying foreclosures, properties, flipping, one of the first things you'll want to buy is a sledgehammer, because you'll want to just gut this kitchen completely. Now in here is the washer and dryer. Whoop, nope, made a liar out of me. I've been through a lot of houses. Usually that is a utility room, but we'll find it. It may be in the garage, I bet. But that was the pantry. And just a second ago, I was in the backyard. But look, here's what's really cool. You get a storage building, and it backs up to woods. Now, I always tell people, just because there's woods right there now, and it's been there for maybe 30 years, this house is about 30, 35 years old, that doesn't mean that 2 years from now, there won't be houses or something back there. You just never know. But as for right now, there's nothing. It's just, listen how quiet. Exactly. See what I mean? Peace and quiet, lots of trees. But look, a couple of things I would do. This is just me personally. A lot of people don't like these trees. But we live in the land of the pines. And so, yeah, that's about a 100-foot tall tree right up next to the house. I'd pull that out. Give you an idea of what it would cost to take that out? That's about $1,500. Yeah, one tree, I know. Didn't I have a show called One Tree? Was it One Tree Hill? No. Anyway. So as you can see, it's a little dirty. It just needs a little paint brushing. But listen, I like the windows. I like the ceiling's tall. It's got a real fireplace that burns real wood. And then the bathrooms, bedrooms, everything just needs to be done. But look, you got a little coat closet here, which is nice. Then you got a bedroom here. And I tell people, don't get emotionally attached to the property. It's going to be hard to see in that, but trust me, you're going to need a sledgehammer there too. But there's nothing wrong with that, because this house is in a fantastic neighborhood. I love when they put more than one window in a bedroom. It drives me crazy when they'll just put one small window and they're like, well, what about furniture? Well, what about it? Put windows in. And then this is the main bedroom here. This one has a big tall ceiling. And it has a closet there, window here, which is nice. And then that's actually a door that goes out to the backyard. Double vanities. But you can see all this needs to be pulled out. But what's really cool, it's already plumbed for it. So you have double vanities. So it's easy to just pull that stuff out and bust it up, pull it all out. Like literally, You have to, some of this stuff's a wallpaper, and so it needs to be pulled off, which is fine, you can do that. But once you take it down, there's not like, there's a little bit of scuff here and there, but you know, you replace the commodes, you replace the tub, and what you do in here, and tell me what you think, what you do in here is, there's a wall right here, right? Well, that wall has the plumbing in it. You can leave the wall, but here's what I've done before. Just shorten that wall. Take that wall, take a foot out of that wall because it's not structurally load bearing, and then rip that whole tub out and then put one of those cool freestanding tubs. Like, not really a claw foot, but they got them just kind of freestanding. That way you don't have to redo all that. You got this really cool freestanding tub, put an elongated commode there. And then this room has 2 windows. And of course, these walls are dark. Anytime you're going to paint a house, just know that the darker the colors you put on the wall, the smaller the room is always going to feel. And that's why I tell people, if you're going to buy a house, you're going to flip a house, you're going to make improvements to a house, you have to make sure that you just stay neutral. Now, what was cool about that, there was a closet there, and there's another closet right there. So for 1,600 square feet, yeah, they left a few things. For 1,600 square feet, $185,000. But this house, you'll spend 40 grand on this little diamond all day long. It does have a garage. But what's it worth? See, they're asking 185 and they have an owner occupant period on this property, and they do this with a lot of properties. I'm located in New Orleans, Louisiana, as I walk through this one. Yeah, those things beep. But here's the deal. Most of these houses, a lot of these houses, they do what they call an owner-occupant period, which is about 30 days. And they basically say that you can't buy it as an investor to flip it. Now, I don't know who polices that, don't get me wrong, but you can't buy this property. You're supposed to, you sign an affidavit at closing that basically says, I am going to be the rightful owner and I'm going to occupy the property. I'm not buying it to flip it or hold it as a rental. But yeah, out here is there's the water heater. I mean, when they're like that, I just replace them. To replace a water heater like that, it's about 800 bucks. Got washer and dryer connection. Here's what's really cool about this. So you got this garage here, it's a 1-car garage. Now, when I flip a house, I'm painting everything. I'm ripping out the garage door, I'm putting a new one in. The garage door, the remote control, everything is being pulled out. I'm painting everything. I'm changing every electrical receptacle. I'm pressure washing this floor, and then I'm going to paint this floor. This right here, I don't know if they built some kind of, they put wood here, but look, that's a concrete slab. That's concrete. But what I would do to kind of separate this, which would be cool, is you could put a wall up right there. So even though you have a light right here, and you've got the light from the garage door opener, you could still bump over to that light, put another light there, put a wall right here, which would keep that separate if you wanted to. Don't have to, but just, you know, if it was my home and I lived in it, that's what I would do. If I was going to flip it. So here's a good rule of thumb. When you're walking through a house and you're seeing these light fixtures, it's going to run you about 2% to replace the light fixtures per square foot. So for example, if it's a 2,000 square foot house, it's going to take you more than likely about $4,500 to replace the light fixtures in the house with some decent light fixtures if you're flipping a property. And you can get away with it a little bit cheaper, and you can certainly spend a whole lot more. But I always tell people, when you're doing this, you'll want to put in granite, you want to do an undermounted sink, you want to do a single basin sink, you want to do an arch, you want to do stainless appliances. You want to neutralize everything. Don't go crazy with the floors. Keep the walls looking neutral. And you just, I mean, believe it or not, this house doesn't have a bad odor or anything in it. You can tell it's been like it's probably been bombed for bugs and that sort of thing. But for the most part, it's got good bones with it.